So good morning and welcome back to the channel. Now that we are in full lockdown in the UK, photography opportunities out in the field are severely restricted. I do really want to continue to share my trips, travels and adventures. I still want my films to inspire you, to motivate you, to get outside into nature, into the countryside, into the great outdoors, whether that just be locally now or further afield into the future. So for the foreseeable future, whilst we remain in lockdown, I'm going to share with you retrospectively some of my trips, travels and adventures. So before that, I'd just like to say a huge thank you so far for the support on my channel, especially the last two films out on the moss, in the mist and the snow, which have proved really popular, and thank you so much if you have watched those. If you are new to my channel and you haven't seen those, I'll put a link in the description below and you can go and watch those later. Also, if you are new to my channel and you've not been here before, please do consider subscribing to enjoy future episodes. So this afternoon I am out in my back garden. We are in lockdown and the message is quite clear. It is stay at home. You must not leave or be outside your home unless it is absolutely necessary. You may leave the home to exercise, and that exercise is limited to once per day, and it must be local. And local is defined as your local village, town or local part of your city. You cannot leave home for recreational purposes, which obviously and sadly includes photography and also drone flying. However, there is nothing to say that you can't take photographs or video whilst out as part of your daily exercise. So if you are on the move whilst taking photographs, then yes, that's absolutely fine. It does present obviously a few limitations, but hey, it is what it is. There's a great guide to landscape photography in lockdown produced by the Royal Photographic Society, and I'll put a link to the URL down below. So back to my travels, and I'm kicking off this series with a trip back to May 2018 across the water to the Emerald Isle. So day one started an absolutely beautiful sunrise as we headed into Dublin Port, and from there I headed on up to Clough Oughter Castle in County Cavan for the first of my photographic images. It's a beautiful spot. Access is only by boat, canoe or swimming, and whilst unknown, the build date is estimated to be in the early 13th century. So from here I headed northwest up to Mullermore in County Sligo and took a walk along the coast whilst waiting for a sunset shot at Classiebawn Castle, the residence of the late Earl Mountbatten, who summer holidayed here from the late 1960s until his death in 1979, when he was tragically killed by the IRA in a boat explosion just off the coast. So day two, I headed up to the northwest corner of County Mayo to a place I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but I will put the name up on the screen for you to have a look at. But what I can say is that it's described in the Lonely Planet Guide to Walking in Ireland as one of the finest sustained coastal paths in Ireland, with a profusion of precipitous cliffs, crags, caves and chasms and islands along the remote northwest coast of Mayo. So the description certainly lived up to itself, as I had a lovely few hours walking along the cliff tops with views to Kidd Island. Broadhaven Bay. And from Benmore Head, the stacks of Broadhaven. Exhilarating walk. I headed down to Carrowteige, which overlooks Clew Bay and is the holiest mountain in Ireland, famous for its pilgrimage to St Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. So sunset was a bit of a damp squib. Conditions weren't very good at all, and to be honest, photography wise, I didn't come away with anything other than this shot here, this panorama over Murrisk village and Clew Bay, which I quite liked. For day 3 I headed out of Westport and headed to Keem Bay at the western end of Achill Island. No trip to the west coast of Ireland would be complete without a visit here. Marked by rugged mountains and peat bogs, Achill Island is known for its tall cliffs and sea beaches. So parking just above Keem Bay, it was a brisk 45-minute walk to Moytioga Head, and I'm sure I've got that pronunciation wrong as well, but I'll put it up on the screen. And from here it was up onto the ridge and an assault on the cliffs of Benmore and the sweeping, jagged edged cliffs sweeping round to the tip of Achill Head. So again, after an absolutely tremendous trip out up on the sea cliffs, again, so invigorating, I was back in the car and heading back to Connemara National Park in County Galway, and a stop off at Kylemore Abbey. Kylemore Abbey and its walled Victorian gardens are a very, very popular tourist spot, and it's certainly a very photogenic building owned by the Benedictine monk community since 1920, and it makes for a lovely image. So after that image, it was time to head back, check in at my B&B, grab some food before heading out for a late sunset. So it was off to the iconic Pine Island in Derryclare Loch for sunset. Not the most spectacular, but some beautiful light and colours nonetheless. So I'll put those images up very shortly, but in the meantime, that is the end of part 1. Please do let me know in the comments below if you have enjoyed this film. Whilst we are in full lockdown, it is difficult to get outside, it's difficult to shoot these videos. So If you have enjoyed this new format, this retrospective view on previous trips and travels, and you'd like to see some more, please do let me know below. So part 2 will be back here on Pine Island in Derryclare Loch. Absolutely stunning sunrise. It was a beautiful morning, thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I'll share that with you in part 2, which will be up next Tuesday. But in the meantime, everybody out there, thanks ever so much for watching. Do stay safe, take care, and goodbye.